Morning, guys. Hope y'all doing well today. Did some meditating last night, this morning. To be honest, it's been a minute. So it was good to get back in touch. Like riding a bike. And it gave me an idea of a topic to dive into a little bit in our meditation. Or if you're practicing remote viewing and you're trying to see, well, what are some things to be aware of that you might see? First, when you first close your eyes and you start to look, and you start to quiet the mind in the stillness, in the waters, the first thing that you'll start to see are probably going to be something called impressions. What are impressions? It's going to be shapes of whatever you were looking at right before you closed your eyes. You will still see the faint silhouette of whatever it is that you were looking at. If you're looking at a window, a lot of times you'll see the shape of the blinds. If you're looking at an object or some furniture, you'll see the shape of that. Sometimes it looks kind of cool. It'll look like a doorway. But those first things that you're seeing, those impressions, aren't your psychic revelation. You'll have to wait for those to disappear, and they will. They'll fade away. But one thing you might see, not long after that, you might start to see what's called shadow people. What are shadow people? Well, you're catching a glimpse of an astral entity. An entity on the astral plane. Congratulations. You're starting to tap in. Mine usually do a similar thing. They don't really change much. They do kind of like the same thing almost every time. Sometimes it changes, but rarely. They walk around me, almost like in a circle, when I start to get in. I'll usually notice, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them. Don't be afraid. They can't harm you. Just scare you and get you out. Another thing to keep in mind when you practice this remote viewing and meditation, you start looking in. Keep in mind that you can't be hurt. Nothing's going to physically hurt you. Unless you, slip and fall out of your chair. Fall asleep and fall over onto the floor. So keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind, and what helped me, especially early on, when I didn't really have a lot of books to, read, when I was just feeling my way through blindly, I would imagine as if I was waiting. Like I was waiting in a dark pool. About waist deep. That would help calm the mind. Also seemed to help me move forward a little bit. I've already talked about the dweller at the threshold. You can look at my previous videos for that. That's usually something you run into. After the shadow people, you got to get past that. And it's not exactly the same for everybody. These are just things that people have shared. I've seen the cosmos flash of light, and it looked like a bunch of stars. Enormous. I've seen faces. There are things to be aware of, though, that could be negative. Succubus can get you. When you're in the astral plane, you're susceptible to astral attack. Somebody could reach out to you. So, how do you protect yourself while you're up there? Well, a big one is not fearing. Just let it happen. Don't fear it. Eventually, you'll see how far you can go. Y'all have a good one.